The laughter echoed around the elegant dining room, a symphony of polite agreement. Sarah smiled, nodding along, her fork poised over the perfectly plated salmon. The conversation had drifted, as it often did at such gatherings, into a comfortable, slightly gossipy rhythm about a mutual acquaintance. "Oh, bless her heart," one guest chuckled. "She really means well, but she just doesn't understand how things work, does she? Always trying to champion the underdog, even when it's clearly a lost cause." A ripple of knowing smiles passed around the table. Sarah felt a familiar tension tighten in her chest. She knew the acquaintance they spoke of and admired her quiet integrity, her persistent belief in fairness, even when it was inconvenient. Sarah often felt the same way, cherishing those same principles. Yet in this moment, under the subtle pressure of social conformity, she felt an urge to just agree, to nod and murmur something innocuous to keep the peace and the pleasant atmosphere, to avoid being the one who disrupted the harmony, who defended the lost cause. A ripple of knowing smiles passed around the table. Sarah felt a familiar tension tighten in her chest. She knew the acquaintance they spoke of and admired her quiet integrity, her persistent belief in fairness, even when it was inconvenient. Sarah often felt the same way, cherishing those same principles. Yet in this moment, under the subtle pressure of social conformity, she felt an urge to just agree, to nod and murmur something innocuous to keep the peace and the pleasant atmosphere, to avoid being the one who disrupted the harmony, who defended the lost cause. It's a sensation many of us recognize, isn't it? That subtle nudge to bend our beliefs, even slightly, to fit the prevailing mood, to gain approval, or to simply avoid discomfort. We might tell a white lie to spare feelings, or strategically omit a truth to make ourselves look better, or stay silent when our values are being subtly undermined, all because the moment feels easier that way. This is the delicate dance of ethical inconsistency, a common human tendency to shift our moral compass to fit the immediate landscape. But what if there was another way, a path not of bending, but of unwavering, quiet strength? This is where the ancient philosophy of Stoicism offers profound wisdom. For a Stoic, the pursuit of virtue, wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance is not a performance for an audience, nor a convenient costume to be donned or discarded as situations change. It is the very core of one's being, meant to be lived consistently, from the deepest thought to the quietest whisper to the loudest public declaration. Think of it. The Stoic doesn't shift their morals to fit the moment. They aim for consistency in thought, speech, and deed, regardless of who's watching. It's a profound commitment to authenticity, a refusal to live a fragmented life, where one version of you exists for your colleagues, another for your family, and a completely different one for the quiet hours of self-reflection. Why does this inconsistency arise in us? Often it stems from a desire for external validation. We crave acceptance, fear disapproval, or seek an advantage. We might hold one set of beliefs when discussing an issue with close friends, but adopt a more palatable stance when speaking to someone whose opinion we value professionally. This can feel like a sophisticated form of adaptability, but in truth, it's a subtle erosion of self. Each time we compromise a core value for external gain or comfort, we chip away at our own sense of integrity, leaving us feeling less whole, less grounded. The internal dissonance, though often subconscious, takes its toll. We might achieve the temporary external approval, but at the cost of our inner peace. The Stoic path offers liberation from this internal fragmentation. It invites us to cultivate an inner citadel, a fortress of character built upon clear, reasoned virtues. This citadel is not susceptible to the whims of public opinion, the pressures of social expectation, or the fleeting allure of convenience. It stands firm because its foundations are internal, derived from a deep understanding of what is truly good and what is truly within our control. Consider the person who consistently chooses honesty, even when it's uncomfortable. The one who extends kindness to everyone, regardless of their status or power. The individual who stands by their principles, not with aggression, but with quiet conviction. This consistency isn't about rigid stubbornness, it's about congruence. It's about ensuring that your actions are a true echo of your deepest convictions. When your thoughts, words, and deeds align, a profound sense of inner peace and self-respect emerges. You are no longer performing, no longer navigating a labyrinth of differing personas. You simply are. This doesn't mean life becomes easy. In fact, ethical consistency can often demand courage. It might mean speaking up when it's easier to stay silent, saying no when everyone expects a yes, or taking a stand that goes against the prevailing current. It can mean choosing integrity over popularity, truth over convenience. Yet in choosing this path, we gain something far more valuable than fleeting approval. We gain an unshakable sense of self, a profound inner calm that comes from knowing we are living in alignment with our highest ideals. The Stoics understood that true freedom lies not in doing whatever we want, but in wanting what is right and then living that truth without compromise. It's about building a life not just of external achievements, but of internal integrity. It's about recognizing that our character is our most precious possession, and that true strength lies in its unwavering consistency. So, perhaps the next time you find yourself at a metaphorical dining table, where the easy path is to nod along or to subtly shift your stance, pause. Take a moment to check in with your inner citadel. What are the core values that truly define you? How can you ensure that your response, your words, your very presence reflect those values, regardless of who is watching or what temporary discomfort it might bring? To live your core is to live with uncompromising virtue. It is the Stoic art of integrating who you aspire to be with who you consistently are in every single moment. It is the quiet power of authenticity, and it is a path to profound inner peace and true freedom. What core value will you strengthen today? How will you ensure your actions consistently mirror your beliefs, even when no one is watching? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let us continue this journey of thoughtful living together. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more insights into living a life of wisdom and virtue.